A fun time. So, off the top, I'm going to say something to get it out of the way, to remove any conjecture that might be going on. Yes, I'm an adult man with long hair, which means occasionally I wear my hair on the back of my head in a bun. Is it a bit much? Absolutely. Does it make me look like every youth pastor ever? 100%. But in my defense, I'm going to wear my hair up sometimes. What's my other option? A ponytail? Fuck all the way off. I have what I would describe as some pretty strong, that guy can own an iguana energy. I don't need to compound that with a ponytail. That'd be a mistake. Speaking of mistakes, my wife and I are trying to have a baby. On purpose. What? My God, the hubris of an act like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have a daughter already, but she was an oopsie doodle, as nature intended. I told a friend of mine that we were trying to have a baby, and they got mad. They're like, oh, so you're telling me you're trying to bring a baby into the world now, like you don't know in 5 years it will look like fucking Mad Max outside. And I said, listen, it's gonna be 6 months, not 5 years. And in either case, that kid will come, I will love it, we will roam the desert wastelands building deathmobiles, and then one day, Tina Turner willing, that kid could win Thunderdome. That's not true. I would be terrible in a nuclear desert. I've been told by 3 separate Subway sandwich artists about how polite I've been during ordering. Lord Humongous would strap me to the hood of his car so fucking fast, you guys. But trying to have a kid on purpose is weird, man. Like, it feels backwards to me. Like, the whole time that I've been having sex, the goal has just been to come. And now, I need to come, but with life-changing repercussions. And I can't deal with that pressure, you guys. Like, it's making me think weird things. Like, I've caught myself thinking things like, man, all that fucking for nothing. Or last week, it was, no, baby, I'm into it, believe me, I'm hard as a nail. It's just that we've been going at it so hard lately that my body is tired and raw, and you know what, I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna put it out there, and I'm just gonna come as fast as I can so we can go back to watching the British baking show, okay? Fine. She didn't get mad, she got it. It was bread week. But no, my wife and I have a great relationship. We really don't argue about too often much about money or doing stuff around the house. The only time things get dicey is when we take on my least favorite couple's activity of picking out a movie to watch together. It's just the worst because it's the only thing that can start with someone saying, hey, this one looks like it could be fun, and then ends with, so do you even know me? Like, at all. I mean, what are we even doing here? 13 going on 30, get the fuck out of here, man. I think the reason it gets so contentious is how my wife and I were raised with movies. Because she grew up internalizing everything she heard from her mom, that anything that's not an animated Disney classic is dumb garbage, not worth her time. So she grew up just watching Mulan and Pocahontas over and over. Which is great, because it's not like those movies have weird representations of race or gender at all. So, way to go, my mother-in-law. And on the other end of things, you had me, who grew up watching every cinema classic that TBS had to offer on a Saturday afternoon. So, we try to pick things out, and she's shooting down everything, and I feel like I have to defend the honor of all these shitty movies. And so I end up saying dumb stuff like, no, listen, just because Ernest is scared stupid does not mean he is stupid, okay, Elena? No. Ernest is not some idiot man-child. He's a grown, actualized person out there doing what he wants. Going to camp, going to jail, saving Christmas. He's doing it all, goddammit. the last time my wife and I tried to pick out a movie to watch together, she didn't talk to me for 2 days because I had to rank and defend all of the 91 to 2000 Van Damme catalog. And when I got married, I never thought that the thing that would drive a wedge between me and my wife would be a Belgian man who lied about winning European karate tournaments, who would go on to star in 75 plus feature films, but yet, here we are. I'm trying to get healthier and take better care of myself and just care for myself better, which is a weird thing for me because I came of age in the late 90s and early 2000s when caring about yourself or other people was considered not cool. I mean, that explains why we had things like Jackass movies and Limp Bizkit records and 2 George Bush administrations. But I'm trying to do small things that inch towards being a healthier person. Like, I started flossing my teeth every day, and I mean, it stopped bleeding every time I do it, so I guess it's working. And I started doing yoga, or I should say, I think I do. Really, I just touch my toes and then roll on the floor for half an hour. But I don't fucking shut up about it, so I'm doing yoga, you guys. The big one I have to work on is my relationship with food, because it's not great. In fact, it's pretty bad. It's the kind of bad where I can tell you which gas stations have the good pizza. You know? It's the kind of bad where all of my favorite restaurants consider basket a serving size. It's the kind of bad where I read a news story about a man who over the course of 2019 ate over 1,000 Skyline cheese coney dogs, and my first thought was, oh, I could do that. I didn't recoil in horror, I didn't read on to see if he eventually died. No, my brain said, okay, 1,000 in a year, we'll call that 80 to 100 a month. Break that down to 23 a week. Oh, I could do that, man. I get that shit done by Halloween. All right. Let's build a spreadsheet and buy some sweatpants, baby. But I love fast food. I'm not too proud to admit that. I even love the lower tier fast food. For example, last week, I just went to Fazoli's. Alone. And you might think the sight of a man by himself at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday just punishing a plate of hour-old noodles covered in Alfredo snot would be just the picture of desperation, but not me, man. Happy as a clam. Also, speaking of clams, if Fazoli's has been reading all the comment cards I've been leaving, clams is something we'll all soon be able to get in a drive-thru linguine, so you're welcome. Or I'm sorry, I don't know how that's going to go either. Like they said, I'm from Bloomington, but I grew up in a small town in the southeast corner of the state. But I promise I'm not one of those people who's always trying to flex on how small the town they grew up in was. You know anyone who does that? They act like growing up in the small town the same thing as having a personality. It's an act more commonly known as melon camping. And worse still than one person doing it is when you have 2 people trying to out small town each other. You know, it's like seeing 2 peacocks face off to show how few feathers they have. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be 2 people commiserating over shared experiences. But instead, it's always this contentious race to the bottom of the brag barrel. And it always ends on this gotcha moment where someone thinks they've won, saying something like, oh, so you're telling me the town you grew up in had more than one high school? And you had a combination KFC Taco Bell? Get the fuck out of my face, man! Don't bring that weak shit around me! Oh, my high school graduating class was 300 people. Try 75, motherfucker! And that was consolidated. Whole county. What you need to do is get your ass a tent and a cantaloupe, because you just got melon camped. Boom! Eat shit, suburbs! I'm Neal Meyer. Thanks so much, everybody.